With a population of about 8,000, Glastonbury can probably claim to be Britain's smallest famous town, or its most famous small town. It is situated in the Somerset Levels, a low-lying area of grassland sometimes called Little Holland. It rises from the levels like an island, and in fact, before about the 13th century, when humans started reclaiming the land, it was almost completely surrounded by marshland. It is said to be the Isle of Avalon of Celtic mythology. The most prominent feature is the Tor, which rises about 500 feet or 160 meters above sea level. Tor is a local word for a conical hill, but for many people, Glastonbury Tor is the Tor. The tower is all that remains of St Michael's Church, built in the 1360s after an earthquake destroyed the original. One of the many legends surrounding the Tor is that it is the gateway to hell, another that the Holy Grail is buried here. Nearby is Wiriel Hill, said to be where Jesus' great-uncle Joseph of Arimathea landed, bringing the mysterious holy thorn. It's actually a type of hawthorn which is unique to Glastonbury. It flowers twice a year, once in spring, once at Christmas, and every Christmas a cutting is sent to the monarch. These and other legends have attracted people looking for a more unconventional lifestyle. There is evidence that the area has been lived in since about 8000 BC, so even the oldest buildings are relatively new. The pump house harks back to the 18th century, when Glastonbury was a spa town. The town hall is about 100 years younger. St John's Church is much older, more or less completed by 1500, and its richly decorated tower is the second tallest in Somerset. The Market Cross was built in 1846. The rather magnificent Georgian Pilgrims Hotel has been in business for well over 500 years. A 15th century house served as the tribunal and now the tourist information centre. But nothing compares with the abbey. The first buildings were probably started around AD 712 and continually added to over the centuries. It was dissolved in 1539, the last abbot, Whiting, executed on the Tor. It was already in ruins by Shakespeare's time. In 1086 it was the richest abbey in England, but its dissolution, only Westminster was wealthier. The scale of the building is hard to imagine. The great church alone was the longest in Northern Europe. A model in the visitors centre shows what it must have looked like and how it must have dominated the town. It must have been a magnificent sight. Some paint is still visible here and there, and a few tiny fragments of the original floor survive. The monks claimed to have found the grave of King Arthur and Queen Guinevere in 1191. At the time, the abbey was having serious cash flow problems, so some skepticism might be called for here. The fragments that remain are mostly of the church itself. The domestic buildings have almost disappeared, only their foundations remaining. The exception is the abbot's kitchen, the only complete building remaining. Benedictine monks ate simple foods, but guests had to be given proper feasts, so the abbot, who of course ate with his guests, had his own kitchen and a surprisingly full appointments diary. In addition to the chimneys at each corner, the entire roof is designed to funnel smoke and steam up and out. In medieval times, Glastonbury relied on pilgrims to bring money in. Today, we call these people tourists, and this is still Glastonbury's only real industry.